Sincere appreciation for your invitation for me to participate in this conference that you have organized on green innovation, a key success factor for startups and small and medium enterprises. And I appreciate Dr. Sama for the invitation. She has also joined us now as a board member of the Africa Leaks community. This is a global community we started about 17 years ago, and the Africa Leaks was also formed after the Global Leaks, Africa Leaks, India Leaks, Sikh Leaks, Euro Leaks, Lila Leaks. We have all these networks that we have established, but Africa Leaks is very active, and she is representing the northern part of Africa, which is very good. And it's also very good to mention what I am now in South Africa, and I know that Algeria has played a big role in the struggle against apartheid. You also supported the great leader Nelson Mandela from South Africa. You helped him also along with Ethiopia to get military training, and so you are. I know that you are very interested in Africa. I know the northern part of Africa. Sometimes there is a complicated history. Some of you are connected to the Arab League, and some are connected to Europe, and some are connected to Africa. But I think the way I see it, Algeria is historically more connected to Africa, and I hope you'll continue to connect with Africa. And I need to tell you what I hear about Algeria. They say, if you are a Muslim, where do you go? To Mecca. If you are a Christian, where do you go? To Jerusalem. If you are a revolutionary and a thinker, where do you go? To Algeria. So I hope, I wish I was able to come to meet you, but we tried to organize everything. But because of this coronavirus epidemic that's spreading across the world, they said that it's not possible now to travel. And that's the main reason why I wasn't able to come. But let me just, I have prepared a PowerPoint for all of you, and I hope you have a chance to see it. And if you have also an opportunity from this conference, an output that you would like to come out as a special issue, I'll be quite happy to welcome you to our journal. We have an established journal called the African Journal of Science, Technology, Innovation and Development. And you can see it also in my PowerPoint presentation. At the end I put the reference, so you can see the link and visit it. And I'll be happy to facilitate how you may be able to publish it. If you publish it, if the special issue with all the rigorous peer review manages to pass, then it's possible for you to also, after a year, to get a book in Routledge in Oxford with Taylor Francis. So I like to offer you this opportunity to see if you are willing, from all the papers that are submitted, that you can also collect some of them thematically related and send it to us, and then we can then do the rigorous review and then see if it can be published for you. Thank you. Now what I want to do is I will briefly state what I'm trying to do and present to you. We need to innovate innovation. As you know, innovation has been used very technically and very commercially and very in only related only to markets. In other words, it's validated by commercial success, technical success, and market success. Now we need to change the paradigm and unthink and rethinking it in a different way. And if we want to say, let us innovate innovation to create green innovation, then it's a different, now we're in a different domain. What we need to do now is actually to unthink economics itself and change it to integrate in the economy the social, the environmental, the knowledge, and the economic outputs. The validation should not be just by success with market and commerce. It must include also what contributions this innovation is also making to a green environment. Also, so for social inclusion, we need new approaches to create a much more well-being anchored and nature security, nature safety anchored development. It has to come. This development is not the way the entire development economics and even neoclassical economics, liberal economics, all the dominant economic paradigms have only focused on, even the critique when the Marxists and others economics criticize, they criticize on economic, purely on economic terms, on economic domain. They don't go beyond the economic domain to include, to be more inclusive. We need a unified approach, like Einstein unified space, time, matter, and energy, and created the unified field theory. We should also create a new economic domain, a new economic thinking, where we integrate all the key components that economics affects. It affects, you may gain commercially, but you may lose environmentally. You may gain with the market, but you may lose with the public service. So how do we find a way to integrate this so that there is no loss? The validation criteria is not just very minor and very narrow, but it's also inclusive and unifying. Something like that is what is needed. That's why I say we need to rethink innovation and development to build transformative, integrated, sustainable Africa in this time of what is called the fourth industrial revolution. We're now at a very interesting time. And how do we go about it? We cannot expect Africa to be on a highway of economic development of the liberal type, the neoclassical type, even the development economics that people have been suggesting. I'm now thinking that we need to, and even the innovation and development, even the innovation theory that we were involved in, even the evolutionary economic theory, all of them have to be rethought, redesigned. In fact, we should really write very important work on this to integrate all of them and also contextualize it in the African area for the African reality, so that the transformation dynamics can be developed that actually will make a huge difference in terms of the change that we want to bring in the African context, where we have a rich continent, we're the richest continent in the planet. We have huge resources. For example, the DRC Congo alone is said to have resources estimated to over 24 trillion. The South Africa, where I am, the resources, only the mining sector, the resources are estimated over 3 trillion. I know Algeria also has a lot of resources. You have oil and many things you have. But the problem we have is we don't know how to manage it. We don't know how to own it. Some of the countries like Norway, they set a sovereign wealth fund, and they have managed to run it so well that they have now made nearly all their people to have income. There are less than 6 million people, and they were able to do it to really set up a system that actually support the people. So some new approach is necessary now, and that's exactly what I'm thinking. So no need to go on the linear pathway of development, like for agriculture, manufacture services type thing. No need to catch up. Even we need to go beyond catch up. We need to find not to catch up like others went to reach the economy they did, but we need to make it different because we go in a different path with our well-being, with our nature security, with everything. If we go in our own way, we have a different path. We don't have to follow to catch up with anyone. We don't have to compete with anyone. Time to create. We need to create social innovation, social development, and we need to also create even social technology, even the thinking we do in terms of even physics, all the things that the science, everything we do has to also be really integrated in a different way. We actually need to find a way to even make a foundational change in the education system so that the education system is re-anchored in a very interesting way, very innovatively, to allow us to do this very fascinating change, mindset change that all the people should have so that they can work together, collaborate, and make effective change in Africa, where the Africa's resources are owned. We innovate to own it, we innovate to build it, we innovate to share it, we then become, sincerely speaking, a very, very decent and very peaceful and very stable, where no people begs, no people starves, and things like that. That kind of technology is what I think the current technologies that we are now on, disruptive and exponential technology, that is going on very, I think we need to do it. So now, time for Africa to join the transformational technology era, computational systems, networks, sensors, artificial intelligence, robotics, biotechnology, synthetic biology, bioinformatics, 3D printing, blockchain, human-machine interface, biomedical engineering, and regenerative medicine, more computing power, speed, sensing, communication, conversation with machines, and new interhuman relations and tolerance. If we're trying to reach into this fourth industrial revolution, how do we, it's now on us because we're in the knowledge, we're digitalized, we have mobile miracle, we have Internet of Things, we have blockchain, many things like that are happening now. And they're affecting how lawyers work, how banks work, how everything works in the real world is changing. Now, this is not just saying because we are in the lower age of the development that we can't access the technology. Everyone can access it. The question now is how to use this technology not to again be affected negatively, that as we have been affected. In the first industrial revolution, Africa didn't get anything. In the second industrial revolution, Africa didn't get anything. In the third industrial revolution, Africa didn't get much. Now, in the fourth industrial revolution, not only should we gain, but we should even make a big difference where we actually try to use this technology to solve our problems rather than to create problems. Let's make the fourth industrial revolution a problem solution for Africa rather than a problem creating challenge where it creates cyber crime and digital gangsters. We don't want that kind of world where the corruption that has always been in the leadership, the governance that has been affecting us should be stopped. And many new developments have to come. That's exactly what we're thinking. So what we need now is to secure Africa's environment, human well-being, and this must determine the direction, the rethinking of innovation and development. So I'm now suggesting a paradigm shift from all the economics, including from the traditional economics like neoliberal, neoclassical, liberal, at the same time development economics, structural economics, even Marxist economics, from all this, plus also the new things like evolution economics, and also what has come now, innovation and development is a new field that even globalists and others have created. I want that to be changed, where we rethink the whole innovation and development in a different way, with a unified, like the Einstein type thing, where we bring in the social, the environmental, all these other, as not just in the whole value chain, from the beginning to the end, the entire process, the innovation process, the way we think about it. Even when we say novelty, what does novelty mean? Usefulness, what does usefulness mean? Usefulness for whom? Not for the private owner who gets market advantage, commercial advantage, technical advantage. It must also include the social, the environmental, all these others. In the criteria, what's useful? Yes. What is new should also be redefined. So the whole innovation has to be the same thing. Development. Development should not just be development for growth, economic growth, and for the people who earn more and then create impact, and whoever they are, who have foreign direct investment coming, creating all kinds of consumer goods and making people just consumers. No, it must also be, development must be well-being anchored, human development, where the people that actually, all the people must benefit. Any development that does not include, that excludes, that creates inequality, that creates unemployment, that creates poverty, some to gain, some to lose, that kind of pattern of development has to also be fundamentally changed. That's what I'm trying to do, and I hope you get a chance to read the PowerPoint I sent you. What I did was I said we need a new highway. We need to apply the technology of the time to unite Africa and not keep it fractured as it now. We need to redesign the development agenda, make it inclusive, sustainable, smart, specific, measurable, action-oriented, realistic, and timely, integrated horizontally in order to manage vertical links with the global economy. All right, to also learn how to go beyond the small states that we have and find a way to integrate structurally and integrate also infrastructurally and create knowledge learning, innovation, competence building. We need to completely remove entrepreneurship drought, remove systematically tenderpreneurship, donorpreneurship, rent-seeking entrepreneurship, and we need to develop a well-being anchored and empowering, people-empowering development, new path, strong social and human capital anchorage. Very, very important to create more collaboration rather than competition, more trust among people, and competition with the collaboration. Even if we compete, it must not be against collaboration or to get to a fight, but it's something to learn how to agree to disagree to re-agree again, build a shared African identity, ecologically sound and remove social well-being and spatial disparity. So this is a time now for all of you to think how to conceptually reframe the entire innovation and development, entire economics, all the approaches that I say that we have been doing, the entire development economics, all that has to be now completely transformed. A new economics, a new innovation and development theory has to be generated. And I hope I'll be able to write a book on this, and hopefully all of you will engage with it and so on. And I hope it will make a huge difference. I have not seen anyone doing this kind of thing that I have done. If there's anyone, you should let me know. But I know they deal with poverty, with different issues separately, but I want to integrate it, to unify it, and create a new approach, a new thinking, and to change entirely economics, economics, so that we can redevelop a new innovation and development path and paradigm for the way the society can be transformed. Integrated, transformed, sustainability, green society can also emerge, so that we have a stable world, not as we are now having all kinds of terror, like look at this coronavirus and many things like that are happening and affecting us. So how do we now how to engage in smart, inclusive, sustainable, integrated African structural transformation? This can only be if we know how to craft and manage a synthesis of the economics, the social, the cultural, the environmental, and the political processes in Africa, and the knowledge processes. Knowing how to be far when near the global economy and how to be near when far from it as well is very important. Usually at the moment, the way our Africa is linked, the world economy is negative to Africa. What we do is production is done by as outsiders, not most of us. What happens is we become consumers, and this is not fair. What we need to do is we need to have a production, consumption value chain, where even external resources that come are integrated in such a way that they actually do not affect the pattern of development that we are on. So I think this is what my message is. My sincere thanks to Dr. Sama Sola, who has become a board member of Africa to represent northern part of Africa. My sincere appreciation to Professor Abdelkader Jiflat for recommending her too, and this dedicated scholar. And I congratulate you for this conference, and I hope it goes very, very well. And kindly send me the outcome. Looking forward to hearing from you. Congratulations. Thank you very much.